Welcome back to GA Style peeps, and this time we got Tiguan 2014 in for some speaker upgrades. So what we'll be doing is we'll be removing the old speakers front and back, and what we'll be doing is we'll be installing T2652S components in front. So these are the tweeters that are going to be going in. Crossovers, quite big and chunky, and obviously the speakers themselves, that's what they look like. They have been fitted before in one of the other cars, but they only were in there for a month, and these basically are still brand new. So these are going in the front, and we've got a set of coaxial ones that are going to be going in the back, like that. Pretty nice and beefy, hefty speakers. It will sound nice and lovely for the time being. We will be upgrading these to something better, not the quality wise, but it's going to be way louder than what it is going to be with these for sure. Because these are like 100 RMS in the front and 70 in the back, but that's later on. At the moment we will be installing them, and I will show you what you need to do is to install these speakers on the Tiguan. So first of all, obviously you need to remove the door cards, as the door cards are off. If you want to see how to remove them on the 2014 Tiguan, check my YouTube channel. You will be able to find this next to one of these videos, and how to remove the front and the rear door cards. And basically once you remove them, here are the speaker, which is 8-inch nearly. You are actually possibly able to install 8-inch speakers with the right adapter and everything, so if you want to, you can go for 8-inch in the front. But in the back you will have to go for 6.5, because the back one is way smaller than the front. So 6.5 only goes in the back, and 8 inches can possibly be installed in the front. And obviously the tweeter pods, factory tweeter pods, we will be installing them tweeters in these pods. But what I like to do for now is well, actually no, not for now. What we'll have to do is we'll have to remove this speaker completely off the metal door skin, inner skin or outer skin, inner skin, I believe so, it's inner skin. So what you got to do is you got to get 10mm drill bit and drill off all these rivets, and then to remove it. So basically what we'll do now is we'll go, I'm gonna set the camera up, and I'm gonna pop front and back speakers out of there, and then we'll proceed with the custom rings and wiring and whatnot, blah blah blah. But for now, let me set the camera up and let's remove these ugly plastic looking things. So like I said, 10mm drill bit, then drill, and align it in the center and just drill them all up. And that's it. Once you drill them out, you just gently pray it all off, and it's all gonna come off. And don't be chucking it out just yet, because it will come in handy for making a custom ring, unless you bought them aftermarket plastic ones. But I'm going to be reusing this speaker to get a decent outline of the ring that I need to make, to install a 6.5-inch speaker in this front door. But for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the rest of these out and prep it for basically a ring. So now, once you do that, now you'll actually be able to put the new ring nice and flush and it will be spot on. So now, let's go do exactly the same in the back. And that's it. That's how easy they all come off. And since it's plastic in here, all you've got to do is just push them in and all them old things disappear in the abyss. Like I say, I'm going to be reusing this speaker as well to get me the outline for the aftermarket ring. Right, well, once you removed all of the speakers and everything, now you can either straight away go and install your aftermarket rings that you've bought, if you've bought them, or if you are going to be making one, I'm going to show you how to make them. But before putting rings, if you do want to make your sound system sound better, I would recommend installing sound deadening, putting sound deadening. So in my case, I've got quite a lot of sound deadening. This is 4mm that I supply, 4mm sound deadening. And then I've got 2mm sound deadening and egg sort of waveform. Waveform is going to be going on the door card. 4mm is going onto the outer skin, and 2mm is going onto the inner skin. So basically, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be removing all of that. If you want to see how to do that, you can watch another video. If you want to go do a proper job for the speaker upgrade. So I'm going to be stripping all this out, disconnecting all the bells and whistles and everything, putting 4mm sound deadening inside of the door, and then putting this back onto it, and then putting 2mm onto the outer skin of the door. And then I'm going to be making custom rings, and I'll show you how to make them, what to do, and blah blah blah. And then we'll be installing speakers and obviously identifying positives and negatives on the plug, on the factory plug of the doors, front and back, all 4 sides. So bear with us. For you, it's going to be in a second. I'm going to go do all the sound deadening that I need to do for the front and back, because I'm doing front and back throughout the full car. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll proceed with making custom rings for the new speakers and identifying the wiring and stuff like that. So yeah, give us 2 and we'll proceed with the speaker upgrade. Well, before I start any custom ring making, just want to show this because I'm just finishing off with the sound deadening. And this is what I mean by doing the sound deadening properly. 4mm on the outside, 2mm on the inside, and basically this is how it's basically finished sort of look. Have put some sound deadening around there, around the little flat areas where I could possibly put it in, but due to all these shapes and everything, it is very very hard to put it in. Like I say, if I had a 1mm, I would probably try and put it everywhere, but it's going to create loads of bubbles, loads of creases and everything. So it's one of them things, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to just do small patches here, there and everywhere, like I've got them in there on the back door. But Jesus Christ, they are solid as hell. They're going to sound nice. So, and obviously I've actually put a bit of foam behind there just to stop some waves hitting against each other, basically clashing. sound clashing together, whatnot, blah blah blah. And yeah, so basically I need to finish this door off now, put the last bit of cover in, and we'll proceed, and we'll be doing the custom rings for the front and the back, and eventually finishing off all the speaker upgrade video business. Right, let me get done and I'll see you in a second. Right, and so I finished with all the sounding and whatnot, cars in a different position and whatnot, and it's time to cut the rings and do the speaker upgrade and everything. So I'm gonna start with the back ones, because the back ones are the easiest ones at the moment, because I don't have to cut rings for the back ones. They fit perfectly fine without any sort of extra speaker rings. Normally why you do more speaker rings is to bring it back so that when the window goes down it doesn't hit it, like the front ones. In here I need to bring the speaker ring like double so it doesn't hit that. As you can see, it's like 218mm things, so we'll be doing them after. The back ones are quite simple, 6.5 goes in without any issues, and I've already did one side over there, so I'll show you in a second. But in here it goes in, and as you can see the window is all the way down, and it's not even in you can't even see it in here. So basically 6.5 can go straight in without any problems, although I do recommend putting some sound in around, or at least like foam membrane in between the speaker and plastic, so it doesn't make like sort of vibration noise or whatever. So it's just a little bit of an advice. I know it's mobile and stuff and whatnot, but sometimes all these little things add up together and they do make a little bit of a difference to the sound and everything. You don't want to be playing some sort of mid-range and it's gonna go bzzz like a freaking bee. So this is basically how it looks finished. I've attached the cable to the speaker and just basically took it away. So basically the negative on both rear is the brown white cable like that, and red white is the positive. I've drilled a hole like that and pushed it in, and basically that's it, took in nice and neatly. It's all out the way, and that's the speaker. I've used all the holes to make sure that it's definitely nice and strong in there, not going anywhere. But basically this is sort of the same process. What I'm gonna have to do is in here, so I'm gonna set the camera up and basically let's finish off the rear doors. Then I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put some foam on and then put the door cards back on. Hold on, no, I'm not sure, but yeah, let's finish the rear door speaker upgrade, and then we'll do the more difficult part, which is the front doors. So then, first things first, need to, like I said, identify your cables. Like I said, brown white is the negative, and then red is the positive. Then you just skin this thing a little bit further away so it's out of the way to attach your aftermarket cable to these, and then we'll run it down by the side and basically connect the speaker. Rear ones, like I said, are the easiest ones to do in this car. So basically, yeah, I'm pretty much gonna stick it back in there and that. So we need to drill a hole there. So just get a step drill or something like that and drill a hole so you can feed the cable in. Like that. Doesn't have to be major, crazy, big or whatever, just so you can feed the cables through. So then what you do is I just pre-made this little two both connectors that I need to shave off actually. Like so. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure that they go like all the way in, not like just a little bit in and whatnot and blah blah blah. So then you can basically feed these two in here. Like that. And what I normally do is I'll skin this wire back, I'll skin this one back, and I basically poke it down the middle, open it up, stick my cable in, and just wrap it around the wire and basically tape it up, and that's what I normally do. You might will probably say, oh, you cowboy, you're actually cutting off, you're supposed to solder and whatnot, blah blah blah, you got a bad connection. You know what? My connection ain't gonna be no different to the solder connection, and all these cables what I'm now installing and what you actually see on shops, even though they say oxygen free and stuff like that and blah blah blah, they are not really that oxygen free. Like I've seen these cables, exactly the same cable like what I'm installing right now, supposedly be oxygen free, not supposed to corrode or get green monsters or anything. And I've had them coming back from decent installers as well, very reputable and stuff like that, and cables, problems with speakers going on and off and whatnot. And at the end of the day, it is the same sort of problem. Green monster, cable oxidation. So at least if this oxidates and messes up, you don't get with a big bunch of stupid solder what you've used or whatever, or you've soldered decent to the speaker itself as well. Then I've got to desolder, solder again. In this case, if this messes up, chop up or just renew the full cable, quick and easy, and there's no messing around or anything. Yeah, soldering looks better and stuff like that if you've got actually decent cables, decent oxygen free stuff, then yeah. With these cables what you buy, and even in these fucking kits and everything, they're not as good. Like I say, I've had some of my wires a year later in my car, they're gone, they're all green. All the wires, even though it was saying oxygen free and all that crap, blah blah blah, it's all marketing scam. And yes, there might be some sort of oxygen free cable, but not completely. So yeah, but this is the way I'll do these. You get a nice decent connection in between, you wrap it around, and then you use some decent taping. The job's a good one, because later on these doors are going to be upgraded, and I will be running complete different separate wires for the speakers, because we'll be running way more power than what these can actually handle. And then we'll be buying decent cables. At the moment this is just a basic upgrade, well, not really basic upgrade, to be fair. This is like a decent expensive upgrade, expensive speakers and everything, but for what it is, like I say, these cables, especially this blue one, not marked on anywhere, I've had them coming back in and speakers are going on and off, and I was getting stand off straight away. What's the problem? It's the green monster that nobody likes. So yeah, basically there you go. Whilst I was talking my hoop off, the aftermarket wiring has been done, and then I've still kept the factory connector, and happy days, really, innit? So now what we'll do is we'll get the, where's the speaker? Speaker. And there we have it. Nice and lovely. 75 RMS. That's all it is. So, and you just connect them to the corresponding positive negative. Negative to negative. Don't mess it up, because then it's gonna go out of phase and it's gonna sound like under freaking water. And let's just put some screws on. That's it, really. The rear both doors are sort of finished. All I've got left to do is put the foam on, and it's all good. So that's the rear doors, they're all done. Thank God. Two less problems without it. So now, since the back doors are done, we'll have to jump on the front. So give me 2 secs. So front, like I was saying, it's gonna be a bit more difficult than the rear, because you need to make speaker rings for front, definitely. You can either buy pre-made ones, you can buy them. I don't like to buy stuff, but I can make it myself, and probably even better than what it is to buy. So basically I need 2 18mm MDF rings. I need to make them to stack them up and then install the speaker and everything. So that's gonna be that. To achieve that, I normally usually take my old speaker ring, gut it out, and then basically outline it. In here I'm gonna go from this end to the other end, but I'm gonna do it the hard way. I'm gonna do it with a router, which I'll show you later on. And basically you just put it on the wood, outline it, cut it out with a jigsaw, and then get your template from here, or I don't know, find something else. So you've got some pre-cuts. I've got like just the rings, it fits, you just put it in, mark it out, jigsaw it out, spray it up, or you don't spray it up, whatever. And basically at the end of it you come up with something like this. This has been done on router, but basically you come out with something like this, and then you just stack them 2 up. Basically you screw one down and then the second one down, and then you put the speaker over the top. Done business. I'm gonna be doing it with the router, because I want to get a decent nice finish. So I'm gonna measure from there to there, get outline 4 of them, and then I've still got a center. And then here I've got mid-range hole cut out, which is 141mm. Basically halve that from there, route it out, and you're gonna get 4 lovely looking speaker rings. Then I'm gonna spray them up and we'll be installing them. So that is going to be the process of me doing the front. So what another thing is, there is a tweeter that you have to take out and install. So I'm going to cut out the rings first, and then we'll proceed with the tweeter upgrade. I'll show you exactly what needs to be done. I've already done the other side just to make sure that everything works and everything's spot on. But for the time being, I'm actually not sure. 2 seconds. Well, pardon me. And unfortunately, this is the end of part 1 for the speaker upgrade. So yeah, that's what I just did. I just had a look at the times what I've got left, and there's nothing much left. So yeah, this is it for the time. Basically part 2 is coming up. Look out for it, and we will finish off these front doors basically, and that's it. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, peeps. Like and share, subscribe, and I'll see you in a part 2. Bye bye.